Hi, everyone. This is Jay Rosenzweig, the founder and CEO of birthparentfinder.com, and I'm very excited on this Saturday. I have my client, Donald, with me. Donald has been a client now for 2 years. He's been so patient, and he's been looking for his birth mother. It almost was a cold case. And this morning, I was determined, it's literally 2 years to the day that we started this case. I was determined to find his birth mother, and I have her on with us right now. Here we go, Donald. Okay, so Donald, this is your birth mother, Carla.
Hi, it's been a long time looking to find you.
Yes, I'm very glad to meet you.
Yes, you too. I've been basically in a little bit of shock all day when Jay told me he found you.
Carla, did you have any idea that this day would ever come?
No, I didn't. I had looked for many, many years and nothing ever happened. And then about 5 or 6 years ago, I gave up. And now I'm just very pleasantly surprised.
And Carla, where are you?
I'm just walking around my porch.
And you live in Oregon, and Donald lives in Connecticut, two different sides of the country. But look, we never give up on these cases. And Donald was almost losing hope. And Donald, tell Carla what you did last week.
Oh, I watched Joel Osteen, the preacher on TV from Texas, and they have a call-in number, and I just called in and said, they wanted to give a prayer, and I said, I'm trying to find birth mother, and so that was, I'm sure God helps us in many ways.
Yeah, your prayers are answered, Donald, and this is a case where miracles do happen, and we never give up. And when I spoke with Carla, she told me that she was very excited, surprised in a very good way. And Carla, you want to tell him what his actual date of birth is?
Say again, please. A car was
his actual date of birth.
Oh, March 26th. 26.
Really?
Donald, you didn't know that, did you?
No, I don't know how that would have gotten.
Well, I had read at one point that when I was looking around that said that Florida used to change the dates of birth.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They even said sometimes they change them by as much as 2 weeks.
Wow, I would have never known that.
Yeah, well.
So, Donald, how long have you been looking for Carla?
What was the initial one? When I signed up for the Ancestry in 2019 and was only hitting paternal matches, I didn't. Obviously, Michael Brewer wasn't on there, but there was a lot of other Brewers on there. I found Michael's brothers, and I have a half sister in South Carolina.
And now you have a half brother.
Yes.
Who lives in Oregon.
Really?
So, Carl, you have a son?
Yes.
Does he know about Donald?
I had told him years ago about him, but I don't know, because nothing ever happened. I don't know whether he remembers.
And how are we going to get Donald out to visit you?
Boy, that's a good question.
It's a funny thing because I'm laid off right now. I could probably, I could probably get away for a week or so.
Okay.
We'll talk about that later, but I want to tell you that this was a very difficult case to solve because the closest DNA match on the maternal side was a fourth cousin at 40 centimorgans, which is like very, very difficult to solve. And that person's name was Philip Brooks. And we contacted him, and he did not know who you were. He said he had no relatives in Florida, and he didn't recognize anything regarding the non-identifying information that we had on you and your family. So I used several genealogists on this case, and they uploaded it to all the other DNA sites, and there still wasn't a closer match. So we could not solve this. So I look, it's been 2 years. I looked at it this morning. I said, I'm going to solve Donald's case this morning if it's the last thing I do. And when I'm determined, I'm determined. So what I did was I looked at that guy, Philip Brooks's DNA, and he doesn't have many people on his tree. He had a relative that showed that, I guess, his parents and his grandparents, they're all from upper state New York. They're from New York. And I said, well, maybe Carla, and by the way, we were told you're Carla with a C, not with a K. So that's what we had all this time. And there were a lot of people in Florida with that name. I contacted many of them and they weren't you. So doing that route didn't work. So what I did was I went to the 1950 census. And by the way, that census came out last year. It wasn't available when we first started this case. I looked at the 1950 census and I put in certain key phrases. I put in Brooks, I put in Carla with a C, and I put in born in New York. I figured, well, maybe you were born in New York. Carla, are you there?
Yes, I was born in New York.
I can't see you right now.
I was born in Rochester, New York.
There you go. And then I put in lived in Florida in the 60s, and I put in your age. We didn't even know your age. I think maybe you were 17, 18 or something.
Yes.
So I put that in there, and I found a Carla Brooks with a K, and her father, the first initial was with an L, I believe.
Yes.
And it was an uncommon name. So it said you had a brother named Alan who was 9 years old at the time, right?
He still lives in Florida.
Oh, okay. So then I found more records, and the only thing I found on you was that you were married to a guy named Miller in 1966, and there was nothing else. And at this point, I still didn't know this was you. And then I got Carla Brooks with a K's date of birth. And I ran it through my data, and I found a Carla Brooks living in Oregon. And that's when I called you this morning and spoke to your husband, and then I spoke to you, and you confirmed that we definitely have the right person, that you are Donald's birth mother.
Yes.
So how does this make you feel, Carla?
Very excited, but very scared. I'm kind of a shy, nervous person.
Well, why are you scared, Carla?
Well, maybe not scared, just nervous.
Nervous, I would take in a good way. Is that right? And Donald, when I called you this morning and told you this, what did you think?
Yeah, definitely unexpected. Definitely unexpected. I think I've been crying ever since.
That's awesome. And I did this for you, Donald. And I'm so glad that Carla, that you've been looking for him also. Sometimes birth mothers give up. They don't want anything to do with their firstborn. And look at this. Look at you guys. You guys are here together. And one day we'll get you guys together in person. Hopefully that could happen soon. I just wanted to do this where you can meet on this format. And I will let you guys talk. If you want to continue talking, you can talk. But I'm so happy for both of you. And I'm glad this case, after 2 years, has finally been resolved. Like I said, we had the top genealogist work on this case. And they're great. They're excellent. But I've been in this business for 41 years. And I said, let me try something different. And when I told my genealogist this morning, I solved Donald's case, she goes, oh my God, how did you do it? And like I said, I explained how I did this. And like I said, we did not have the 1950 census when we started this case. And I will credit the 1950 census. Thank goodness for that. That helped solve your case, Donald. Isn't that wonderful?
Yes.
Okay. I'll let you guys go, but you could stay on the line and talk. Thank you so much again, and bless both of you.
Yes.